We are here at Versailles restaurant with Nicole Valls of the Valls Group. And we're going to be having a coffee break or a cafecito chat about their family business and her role and the importance of family businesses and supporting them in our community. Nicole, how are you today?
Good. Welcome. So glad we're here and have a little cafecito chat. Cheers.
Delicious. Nicole, can you share with us what it's like being part of such an iconic family business like the Valls Group? And how did you become involved in the family's ventures?
For me, really, it's just an honor being part of my family, obviously, but more than that, what we have accomplished throughout the years, what my grandfather founded and what my dad and my family continue to carry forth. It's a legacy that has been a part of Miami for over 50 years, and it's something that I hope to be a part of for another 50, and I hope it continues on through all the generations. Versailles isn't really, we say it's not ours, it's the city of Miami's. Like, this is where the city comes to mourn, to protest, to celebrate, everything. So it's something bigger than us, and it's, an honor to be a part of that. It's something that, working in the family business, I always had in the back of my mind growing up. I studied business at the university at UM. And then immediately after started working with the family and just started, at that point, we were about to open the La Carreta in Miramar. And then since then, just been opening some places at the airport and just carrying on with just like the everyday operations of the restaurant.
And the family legacy, right? Family businesses often have unique dynamics. Can you describe how family values and traditions play a role in the operations and culture of your restaurants?
I think the culture of our restaurants is something very familiar. And I think it stems from the top, from us, because we're still run like a mom and pop, very family oriented, run by the family. We don't have titles and, all these people running around. It's pretty much the family and our employees, and our employees are part of our family. And I think you feel that when you go to the restaurants. The dynamics of family business is not for everybody. I love it, but there's sometimes where it's a little frustrating. It has its pros and its cons, because you can never zone out and be like, I'm not working right now. No, it's the family. You see them every day. You work together every day. We have lunch together every day. So it's interesting, but it's something that I like.
They say, that people should leave their work at work and not bring it home. But how do you do that when you live with work? So
not the case in the family business, yeah.
As a member of the younger generation in a well-established family business, what innovative strategies have you implemented to keep Versailles restaurant and other family-owned establishments relevant and thriving in today's competitive market?
When we were trying to get a website, that was like a battle with the older my grandfather and my dad. They were, what do we need that for? We haven't used one in 40 years.
What year was that?
12 years ago. We were late to the game already, but it was, a big change for them. Something that, they didn't, back then you didn't need that in the world to survive. Now you need that. You need social media. You need to provide content. You need to show the world what your restaurant has to offer. Trying to bring in third-party delivery services. Before, everybody would just call a restaurant and have it delivered or do takeout. The younger generation, everything's done through an app. At the end of the day, it's a restaurant, and it's a brick and mortar place, and people come here and they eat food, and we provide a service, and that you can't really change that.
What advice do you have for young entrepreneurs looking to join or continue a family business while balancing tradition and innovation?
I would say it's really up to the person. If working with a family business is something that you've always wanted to do, I commend you. Go for it. Put your all into it. There's always something new, a different perspective that could help run businesses, but it's not for everyone.
Could you tell us about any exciting developments or plans in store for Versailles restaurant and other locations in 2024?
Well, we just opened an outdoor bar outside here at Versailles, so now you can grab a mojito while you're waiting for your table, or just come by and enjoy. Yeah, so we're open on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all day, and then during the week at night.
Did you guys hear that? Happy hour at Versailles.
And then for our other brands, we have our own coffee brand, Café La Carreta, which we sell in retail markets and supermarkets and pharmacies and online and through Amazon. So kind of just expanding on that. kind of moving that business forward.
Versailles restaurant has a rich history and is known for its cultural significance. How do you ensure that this legacy is maintained while adapting to the evolving tastes and preferences of your clientele?
It's hard because our menu, it's very traditional. We haven't really changed it in a while. We don't have any fusion or this flavor, that, or whatever. It's pretty much just classic Cuban food, and that's what it's been for 50 years. But there's a few things that you can add here and there, and just kind of go with the flow of things, but still maintain its authenticity and really what Versailles is and what it means to so many people.
And it's tradition, So the tradition is your wave.
Tradition from, the older generation of my grandfather, the second generation, third generation, now fourth generation. It's a place that has been around for so long in the city of Miami that it's a generational place. Everybody at some point or another in their life has come by.
It's definitely a meeting place for many of us. Miami is known for its vibrant culinary scene. How do you stay ahead of trends and continue to offer unique experiences to your customers at Versailles and other locations in your portfolio?
Miami's exploding right now, and it's just become a culinary hub right now. It's so many amazing new restaurants are opening every day. I don't see it as competition. I see it as Miami's just getting that significance in the world on the culinary scene. So that's always good. There's a bunch of new restaurants opening, different price points, different food. But I think people, when they come to Miami, part of that is they want to taste the Latin food, get a feel for the Cuban culture. And what better place to do it than here?
I guess that outdoor bar is a good way to welcome all the new visitors to Miami. Can you share some memorable moments or anecdotes from your journey in the family business that highlight the challenges and rewards of working in such an iconic establishment?
A lot of the things that I always remember are the big celebrations that we've had here. Whenever the Heat win or the Marlins win, the playoffs or the World Series, everybody comes out here with their pots and pans to celebrate. 2 summers ago, everything was happening in Cuba. Everyone came here to protest, and this was kind of like the hub of everything that was happening. The most memorable one is when Fidel died. That's something that I had been working on at that point for over 10 years since I started working. I remember I got a binder, and it was like, this is what's going to happen if Fidel dies. Like, CNN has these spots, Univision has these spots, Telemundo has these spots. Like, everyone knew that Versailles was going to be the place where they needed to be at when the news broke. So these news outlets from years before had contracts with us for certain spaces and roof access to get the crowds and the whole thing. So I remember since I started working, I always had in my trunk the binder with all the phone numbers and the whole thing and everything color coordinated and like sneakers and like socks just in case. Like no matter where I was, I could run to Versailles.
You heard that, guys? She was planning for the death of Fidel way before all of us to receive all of us here.
We had some false alarms along the way.
This girl does not have an easy job.
And I remember it was the weekend of Thanksgiving, and I was hosting a Friendsgiving actually, and I looked at my phone and I was like, oh my goodness. And I was with some friends who are in the media, and I was like, you guys, check your phone, like. And they were like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God. And I like jumped in my car and like drove to Versailles. And by the time I got here, the streets were already really full. And it was just like, at that point, with the police department, with the city, with all the news outlets, organizing everything. I ended up like staying overnight. Next day, I finally like escaped for a second and I went up to the rooftop. And I remember just looking down and you couldn't see the street. It was just a flood of people with their banderas and music and dancing and the pots and pans and everybody just out in the street celebrating. And I got so emotional because I was like, this is our restaurant. Like, this is something that my family started, and this is where the city has come to memorialize this special moment that they've been waiting for over 60 years for. So that was really, really emotional for me to see that and to be a part of that and to know that that happened here. And this is where the Cuban American community decided to celebrate that moment. Yeah.
I got goosebumps. What does the future hold for the Valls family businesses, and how do you envision your role within this legacy as you move forward?
keep on the traditions that our family started, and like I said, hopefully the rest of the generations continue doing so, and hopefully Versailles could be open for another 50 years, and who knows, maybe eventually open up a Versailles in a free, liberated Cuba. That would be like full circle, I think.
Wow.
So I don't know. Eventually, I hope we'll get there one day.
This is your 51st year, right? Or 52? 52. I wanted to thank you for letting me in your establishment here today that I've been to many, many times since I was a little girl, and for opening your arms to us, for everything that you've done for our community, for being the professional you are. Cheers to 2024.